Today we're getting it on with K-On and we're installing the Prado 150 and FJ recovery points. If you're hitting the tracks and you plan to take your car off-road, there might be some situations where you need to get recovered and you want a good recovery attachment to attach your gear. Now, if you want to learn more about why you might consider a dedicated recovery point, have a look at our other video where we're going into a little bit more detail. In this video, we're going to look at how to install this on a Prado and an FJ and what you might need to do if you have a bull bar or no bull bar. Now, you'll notice our recovery points attach to the side of the chassis, these two mounting points here, and to the front as well. So in which case you need to check that all the mounts and surfaces are clean. So this one looks pretty good. I just want to make sure there's no damage around there and those are all clean. Today we're installing the Aramac Grey, really nice color, especially for those people who like a more discreet look. So the first thing we want to do, actually, I'll talk about what to do if you're not running a bull bar. If you're not running a bull bar, you need to put a spacer in because with the bull bars there's usually a sidearm there and we need to position the recovery point properly so that the toe point engages properly. So for this vehicle, we'll need a spacer. Grab your M12 1.25 grade 10.9 bolt with your Nord lock washer, and we'll just position the recovery point there loosely. No need to tighten it up too much. Next thing I'll do is I'll grab our clamping puck. Now this clamping puck's been designed to mate with this toe point. It's got the curves in there and also the curved grooves in there. You'll notice that the hole is slightly off center. That will go to the bottom. And just get that thread started. It's easier to do it now when everything's sort of loose. You can see there, I've got the thread started, beautiful, all nice and loose. And the next thing we want to do is attach to the mounting point in the rear. Now the one in the rear, there's no nut in behind the chassis there, so we'll need to use our nut and the wire, laser cut here. We've actually got two notches to show you, help you with the position and where to bend it. Now on the Prado there, because it's towards the back, we'll bend it on this notch here. Okay, so that goes in there. Now we also need a spacer on the back there so we can position the sidearm correctly, keep everything nice and parallel. The other thing you'll notice is this hole up here is slotted, so we need to put a washer over the top. This is to allow for some variations between the different year models. So we'll grab a washer and bolt and we'll get that in. Okay, this will be a little bit fiddly. Might help if you had another set of hands, but you got your M12 bolt, your Nord lock washer, another heavy duty washer there, and a spacer in behind. And then we have to line all that up with the nut on the wire back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that hole up first, hold it in place like that, and gently wind it on. Got all the bolts in, the back one, the front one, and the puck. So we're just going to tighten these all up, make sure they line themselves up. Now this one fits beautifully. And what we're going to do, this one's a little bit tight here, I'll get this going. We're going to torque all these up to the recommended torque settings. Beautiful. This one always feels nice and secure. There you go, all torqued up. Okay, once you're all done, put the warning sticker on there. That's a pretty good position right there. Should stick it there. The other thing I'll mention too is this is an install on a vehicle without a bull bar. Now if you've got a bull bar, you won't need the spacers in there because generally there's a sidearm in there. With some bull bars, you might need to do a bit of trimming to clear the splash guards, but we've made this one suitable for a wide range of bull bars, your TGMs, your ARBs, your Toyota bull bars as well. We have an FJ here with a TGM bull bar. A couple little differences to the install, one of which is actually the hole. So we're mounting to this hole and this hole. There's the FJ hole, there's the Prado hole. And we also have some clearance issues with the washer bottle on the right-hand side here, which means we need to trim one of the guards, one of the splashes a little. So the first thing you'll need to do is get access to this washer bottle cover, which is in behind here. Now, the easiest thing to do is I've actually taken all the splash guards off and so forth. There is a little M6 bolt up the top here and a little clip on the bottom. You just pull it down. Now, this is the washer bottle guard or cover, and we need to just make a little cut out there to clear the recovery point and the bolt head. So it's 30mm long and 10mm wide, and we'll cut a little rectangle out, and then what we'll do is we'll extend those down and take that little triangle of plastic out. One way to cut this out is with a sharp Stanley knife and a ruler. So just carefully score it. Might take you a few goes, but you'll eventually get there. So just carefully cut that out. What I think I'll do is I'll go grab a grinder. I'm done. Because we have a bull bar, we actually need to remove the bolts that hold the bull bar in place, because the recovery point will go over the top and then we'll bolt through. Now, because we've got a bull bar, we won't need the spacers that sit behind here because we've got the sidearm already there, so it'll be in the right position. So these are the two mounting points on the side of the chassis. This one's already got a captive nut behind it. This one doesn't. So we need to put the nut on a wire inside the chassis. You'll notice the second notch there is where you need to bend it. So I'll just bend it there. And this goes up inside the chassis. Just check that you've got the alignment right. And there you go. Hello, that's sitting right there. Before we actually install the recovery point, just check that all your surfaces are clean, clear of dirt and mud or any damage, and all your surfaces are nice and flat. So you can lift and place the recovery point in position. And what I like to do is I like to put this bolt in first. Grab your M12 by 40 grade 10.9 bolt and Nordlock washers, and we'll just get that in there. And that should help us position while we get the other bolts in. Now, we don't want to tighten these completely. Next thing I like to do is get the clamping puck. Notice it's off center. Make sure that it threads into the recovery point nicely. Get that almost home as well. If we keep these loose, we should be able to get the other bolt hole to line up in the back here as well. And what I like to do is I like to line up the hole at the back here and tighten this bottom one. And that allows me to line up the hole with the chassis hole, which makes it much easier for me to then line up the nut on the wire there. You can see it there. And then just carefully install the M12 bolt. Now we've got all the three M12 bolts in. Just make sure it's all good, and what we want to do is we want to tighten everything up to make sure everything's positioned nicely. I just tighten everything up evenly, and then we'll want to torque them to the recommended settings in the fitting instructions. Okay, we're getting close. So what you want to do now is get the torque wrench and torque them up. Okay, once you've torqued everything up and you're happy with that, we need to put everything back together. First thing to go back on is this guard for the washer bottle. Just get that on there. Beautiful, that just clears the bolt. We'll get this little M6 bolt back in on the top there. The other side's exactly the same, but in reverse. Once you've got all your guards back on, put your little warning label on there. Place it somewhere close to the recovery point. I'm going to put mine here. And you're all done. That's how we do the recovery points for Prado 150. Got this really sturdy mount on the front here, as well as the two on the side. Soft shackle friendly, And another thing you'll notice with this recovery point is the clearance and the departure angle, while still giving you access to that recovery point. So it doesn't hang down, you're not going to hit this one as easily as the other ones on the market. Rated to 5 ton as well. This is the Prado 150 and FJ recovery points.